Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks for checking out this video of my sports, Gematria. In this video, I'm going to go over the Sweet 16 games for Saturday, March 27th, 2021. I'm going to show you both sides of each game. It's going to be up to you to determine who you think will win based on the numbers. I encourage you to add additional information on top of this if needed for you to feel confident in your own pick. And if for some reason you're curious to know who I'm picking in these games, you'll have to join my Patreon where my picks are always in writing, underlined, and italicized. For more information on that, please read the description of this video. I wish you guys the best of luck in your picks today. Let's go ahead and get into today's games. We have Oregon State versus Loyola Chicago, Villanova versus Baylor, Oral Roberts versus Arkansas, Syracuse, and Houston. I have my daily numbers on this side, date numerology, Gregorian Hebrew calendar. Oops, got to get it to the right day. There we go. March 27th. Date numerology, Hebrew. Over here. It's 82nd annual championship coming up. This is Sweet 16 round. Men's basketball championship Midwest region, if I can read my own rating. Men's basketball championship Midwest, Gematria. The bigger seed on top. Head-to-head record. Lower seed at the bottom. So we have Oregon State versus Loyola Chicago to kick it off. I like this matchup. It's pretty cool that why they did this. The number 12 seed versus the number 8 seed, like 128. Today has 35 date numerology on the Gregorian. 35 sums to 128. It's Oregon State's 35th tournament game as a team. Loyola Chicago, it's their coach's 128th game as a coach for Loyola. I just like how they put that together. If Loyola wins this game, their coach, he gets his 182nd win for his career, which is an anagram of 1, 28, 8, 8, 12, 12, 8, 182. He would sit on 82 losses for his career to advance. The number 8 seed would advance to the Elite 8 with 82. He would sit on 82 losses. This is, like I said, the 82nd annual championship for college basketball. Oregon State coach, he would get his 200 loss for his career. 200. 82. 282. Share some Gematria. 132.51. 132.51. It being a day with 51 date numerology on the Gregorian. Oregon State would sit on 19 wins for the season with the loss. It is the 190th day on the Hebrew Civil, the 19th triangular, but the word 19 sums to 86, and it's the 86th day on the Gregorian. But with that being said, Oregon State, they could get their 20th win to advance, as they sit on 20 tournament losses as a team. It is a day with 71 date numerology, 71 the 20th prime number. 26-5, 15-6. Loyola, they're on an 8-game win streak, and they could end it here as the 8 seed, trying to get into the Elite 8. Maybe 8 wins is as far as they were supposed to go or something. Just a thought. 51 date numerology on Gregorian. 51 sums to 46. Oregon State coach, he would sit on 199 losses with the win. The 46 prime number. He would get his 113th win as a coach for Oregon State. 113 is the 30th prime number. 30 sums to 35. Today with 35 date numerology on the Gregorian. Loyola Chicago. Let's see what else. I mean, something that's actually kind of good for Loyola. It's their 21st tournament game, and their coach, he can get his 73rd win as a coach for Loyola. 73 is the 21st prime number, and Oregon State, they would get their 21st tournament loss. 21 sums to 141. 14th day of the first month on the Hebrew religious, like 141. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it going. Villanova versus Baylor. Villanova has some pretty good numbers, but I almost feel like it's too good to be true. Villanova, they could become 19-6 for a season record with a win like 196. 196 has a square root of 14. 196 has a square root of 14. Today being the 14th day of the Hebrew religious year. They would also get their 19th win, 190th day on the Hebrew civil, then the 19th triangular number, 19 sums to 86, 86th day on the Hebrew, or excuse me, 86th day on the Gregorian. It's Villanova's coach's 886th game for his career. He can sit on 273 losses with a win on the 27th of March, 3/27 or 20/3. And he would get his 613th win. 613. That's the 112th prime number. 613, 112 prime. And 14 sums to 112. It being the 14th day on the Hebrew year, where Villanova could become 19-6 for a record, which has a square root of 14. But something subtle for Baylor. That's pretty good stuff right there. But something subtle for Baylor, which I actually like a little bit more. Baylor could become 2-0 head-to-head against Villanova for one. 2-0 like 20. 71 date numerology, 71 the 20th prime. Baylor, they could get their 25th win for the season. 25 sums to 149, the 35th prime. But one thing I would watch out for them today with 35 date numerology on the Gregorian. But one thing I would watch out is Baylor, if they were to win this game, and then they go on to win in the Elite Eight, and they would be 26-2 heading into the Final Four. And the Final Four is played on April 3rd. Let me see April 3rd here. There we go, April 3rd. April 3rd is a day leaving 272 days left in the Gregorian year. So if Baylor wins today, they'd get 25-2. If they win in the Elite Eight, they'd be 26-2. And then they could go into the Final Four potentially. And then if they were to win the Final Four, they'd be 27-2 on a day leaving 272 days left in the Gregorian year. And then Baylor would go on to the championship game on the 23rd day of the 7th month for the Hebrew Civil, and they would become 27-3 with the loss. 23-7, 27-3, anagrams of each other. That's a potential playout for Baylor to lose in the championship game. That's a little bit more subtle. Villanova's numbers for the day seem really, really good. But we also have to think of what's to come as well and dates ahead. So that's just a scenario for, let's go back to the 27th. Just a scenario for Baylor. If they were to make it all the way to the Final Four, I would imagine they would go 27-2 on a day leaving 272 left, which means they would be advancing into the championship game. But let's keep it moving. Oral Roberts in Arkansas. What throws me about Arkansas is, the coach, he can either get his 53rd loss in the Sweet 16, 53 to 16th prime, or if Arkansas wins this game and they go into the Elite Eight, The Elite Eight is played on a day with 53 date numerology on the Gregorian, and he can get his loss in the Elite Eight game, potentially. And if that were to happen, Arkansas would win this game, and they would go into the Elite Eight game on 53 date numerology, the 16th prime, 25-6. And mathematically, 25-6 or 256 has a square root of 16. So they could become 25-6 in the Sweet 16, which has a square root of 16, and then head into the Elite Eight, 53 date numerology, the 16th prime, and that's where Arkansas's coach could potentially get his 53rd loss. But, you know, he could just go ahead and get his 53rd loss in the Sweet 16 as well, so that can just happen. Oral Roberts have been on upset mania. They can get their 19th win for this season as they get their 8th win in a row. 19 is the 8th prime number. 190 day, or excuse me, the 190th day on the Hebrew Civil, the 19th triangular number. The word 19 sums to 86. It's the 86th day on the Gregorian. Oral Roberts can get that 19. 8 in a row. 19, the 8th prime number. Arkansas coach, he would get his 53rd loss and his 19th loss as a coach for Arkansas. So maybe that's what it is. On the flip side, he could get his 45th win as a coach for Arkansas, as Arkansas gets their 45th tournament win. Today was 71 date numerology on the Gregorian. 71 sums to 45. Oral Roberts, their coach, he can get his 67th loss for his career. 67, the 19th prime, so maybe that's the 19 connection. Instead of them getting their 19th win, he gets his 67th loss instead, the 19th prime. So a couple of different ways you can look at it. Arkansas, they can get their 7th loss for the season in their 77th tournament game, or Oral Roberts can just go ahead and end their 7-game win streak in their 77th tournament game. Arkansas. And what else? 14th head-to-head on the 14th day of the Hebrew. The 15 versus the 3, 153. 17th triangular number, 7th prime number, potentially could be against Arkansas, 7th loss, or ending their 7-game win streak. Alright, let's keep it moving though. Syracuse and Houston. Houston, they can become 27-3 for a record with a win on the 27th of March, 27/3 or 3/27. They would get their 10th win in a row as they give Syracuse their 10th loss for the season. And I was going to say one. I wonder why I have this marked 166, but I think I know why. 147. Nope, I guess that's not why. That's 166. Wonder why I have it marked. It's the Hebrew Civil color, so 190, 163. I don't know. I'm stumped on that one. Let's go ahead and unmark that. I have the Syracuse marked 19 for 190th day, the 19th triangular number. 71 date numerology on the Gregorian. Syracuse can get their 71st tournament win as a team. They would become 19-9, like 199. The 46 prime today with 51 date numerology. 51 sums to 46. If we look at the bracket, so we have the number 1 versus the 5, Villanova, Baylor. 3 versus the 15, 8 versus the 12. If Loyola Chicago wins and Houston wins, it'll be the 2 seed versus the 8 seed. And I talked about that when I was talking about Loyola, 82nd annual championship, or this is going to be the 82nd annual championship. Loyola Chicago, their coach, you can sit on 82 losses. with the win. It could be potentially Loyola, the number 8 seed, versus the number 2 seed, like 82. And the Elite 8, the number 8 seed going to the Elite 8. And what's interesting though, upset for Baylor would be Villanova. I mean, Villanova has some interesting numbers. Where are they at? Yeah, that 196, that 613. It almost seems too good to be true. And like I said, with Baylor, if they go all the way to the Final Four on a day leaving 272 left, they could become 27-2 for a record to enter the championship. But the Elite Eight, I wanted to show you guys, the Elite Eight is played on a day with 53-date numerology. I talked about Arkansas's coach, how he can potentially get his 53rd loss in the Elite Eight, a day with 53-date numerology. If Villanova upsets Baylor, it would be the 5 seed versus the 3 seed, like 53. So that's a potential upset narrative for Villanova. If those numbers that they have for them are so good, they just end up upsetting Baylor, then we'll have the 5 seed versus the 3 seed potentially in the Elite Eight, and that's when Arkansas would potentially get their coach. He would get his 53rd loss, which means Villanova would be advancing to the Final Four. But I think it might be Baylor that's going to be going not only to the Final Four, but probably the championship if that 272 plays all the way through. So that's about it for the Sweet 16, and then of course I'll make videos for the Elite 8 once those come around. Because these are just, I'm just giving you guys scenarios for you to like kind of look at, observe, maybe add things, take away things, And then of course my final picks are always on my Patreon, so if you want to know what those are, you'll have to go there. But hopefully this helps. Hopefully this gives you some ideas, and thanks for watching.